Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of Oh That's Random Podcast. Once again, I am your host, that guy, Nerdy G. Just call me Nerdy G. If this is your first time, welcome to the channel. That's Nerdy's Umbrella channel on the YouTube. If this is your first time listening on the DSPs, welcome. I am going to be your navigator through this wonderful experience that you're about to be taken on. And Oh That's Random Podcast is the show where we explore the extraordinary and ordinary. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, it's not just me. I know you see my face. It's beautiful. You know what I'm saying? My locks look wonderful. You know what I'm saying? Beard is on point. You know what I'm saying? I have a team that helps keep this going. You will see some of them coming on camera sooner than later. You may have already seen them on camera, just depending on when this episode drops. But listen, the best way to help us, support us to keep doing what we do the best is slide on over there to Nerdy G Shop. .fourthwall.com and pick up some of that merchandise, donate, do whatever you want to do, help us continue to build this and bring better and more content to you, things that you can take back and just enjoy in life. But enough of all of that good old stuff. Let's get right into this episode. If this is your first time here, listen, I do things a little different from the other shows and whatnot. And what I mean by that is it seems like a solo show. It is a solo show in the aspect of this is me getting my thoughts out. These are random thoughts that I have, and I get these thoughts out. But the beauty of this is I come back and I have a conversation with a few folks that are here, and we put those on the Patreon and we dive deeper into some of these conversations. But this is just me, Nerdy. I came up with this, I thought about it, and now I want to get it out, and I want to kind of put it out there for you guys and see what you guys think, get you guys to responding, and then of course to see the back and forth that is on the Patreon, where we do take some of these conversations a little bit further. It's more uncut, unfiltered, and raw. It's longer than 30 minutes. I will tell you that the back and forths be good. And then too, later down in the future, we'll have the audience to join in and be a part of the conversation, and we can have a productive, effective conversation about whatever it is that the topic is. Today, the topic, though, is one that, Nerdy, this came about because I was recently at the airport. Yeah, I was at the airport. So, while I was at the airport, before I do that, if you guys are watching on YouTube, check this out. You see this shirt? It say "Through the Hard Way." Nerdy merch, from this brain to this beautiful canvas of a body that is mine. Go grab that. But this "Through the Hard Way," and I'm gonna tell you the funny thing: "Through the Hard Way" is actually going to tie into what we're talking about today, which is effective communication as a parent. And I was at the airport when I thought about this, and I wrote it down in my journal. I'm going to take you guys on a little ride, and sometimes in life, things are we're not used to what we haven't been exposed to. We may have an ideal of like we would like to be better in a certain area, but we don't know what that looks like, because it can look many different ways of how to achieve it. Everybody doesn't, what's that saying? It's more than one way to skin a cat. So there's more than one way to achieve the goal or what it is that you're trying to seek, right? There's more than one way to just effectively communicate. If you don't believe that, then listen, keep listening, okay? So let me tell you about this, and I'm gonna do my best. This is not story time. We're nerdy, so I'm gonna make this quick as possible. Less long story, less long, okay? And I'm gonna kind of give it to you. So I was at the airport, and me and the family, we was getting ready to go and do our thing. And while we were sitting down and we were waiting, there was a family next to us. It was a father, a mother, and two girls. I couldn't tell what the baby was. The baby was dressed in neutral colors, and it didn't have a name. It had one of those unisex names where you just was unsure, but neither here nor there. Okay. The father. These guys were from Colorado. Cataract. Okay, they were from Cataract, and how to say this? Ooh, I want to say this. I don't, and I want to preface this. I'm not making fun of the way that these people communicate. It was just different for me, and the way that it came off stopped me in my thought process and made me truly pay attention and admire what was happening. All right, so me and my boys were sitting down. They're sitting there, their family there. And so the little girl name was Clarissa. Okay. So Clarissa's father was says, hey Clarissa, I see you coloring. Are you having fun coloring? She says, I am. My son then walks over and goes, hi. And then he goes, Clarissa. This young man says, hi. He goes, what is your name? My son says, Jay Sean. He goes, Clarissa, this is Jay Sean. Jay Sean, this is Clarissa. You two have now met. Clarissa, would you care to share your coloring book with Jay Sean? My son looked back at me and said, what? Like, he had the look on his face. It was like, what? And I was like, go right ahead. Because we speak without speaking. Go right ahead. This man, I'm sitting right here. He's like 2 seats over. The daughter's right there. Nothing's going to happen. So Clarissa says, yes, he can color with me. He says, Clarissa, they start coloring. Jay Sean and Clarissa start coloring. He says, Clarissa, make sure you stay inside the lines. Jay Sean says, oh, I like coloring outside the lines because it makes my picture beautiful sometimes. Clarissa goes, me too. I think that it makes the picture look beautiful as well. He goes, well, that's one way to look at it, and thank you for letting me know that. And then I guess something happened where I didn't see, and then this is what really caught my attention. Clarissa was upset. And when Clarissa was upset, her father said, Clarissa, tell me how I upset you. She said whatever she said. He goes, I understand now that by me doing this, that upset you. Because that upset you, I want to tell you, one, that I'm sorry. Two, what I want to say is that now that I'm aware of this, I will make sure that this never happens again. Do you forgive me? I'm trying to keep the look of confusion off of my face because I dig what he did. I dig what he said to his daughter. I dig that he made it very clear to her. And she looked at him and it's like she wasn't buying it. It like she wasn't buying what he was putting out. But as an adult with 3 boys, I felt what he was giving because for some odd reason, that form of communication lets the child know, hey, I was unaware of something. I made a mistake. I'm going to apologize for it. But at the same time, I want to let you know that it's okay to make this mistake. It's okay to correct your error. And it's okay to say, I won't do it again, so that we have a clear understanding. For me, all I heard was effective communication. Even though the child was anywhere between 4 and 5, to me, I heard effective communication. Now, when it comes to the sorry part, I'm not 100% on board with the sorry part, but the way that he orchestrated that, I was down with it. I was like, wow, now that's different. Now, some of you guys who are listening, y'all probably grew up the way, sit your ass down. Get your ass over there. What the fuck wrong with you? Those type of conversations. Those are the things that our parents told us. Get out of grown folk business. Do it again, I'll beat you. You know what I'm saying? Things like that. We didn't have, oh, what you crying? What you crying for? Keep on crying. I'm going to give you something to cry about. Okay? You want me to keep crying or you want me to stop crying? Because I'm confused right now. So cry. If you cry, if I don't cry, if I cry, you're going to give me something to cry about. I'm already crying about something, but you don't want to address what I'm crying about, but you want me to keep on crying so that you can give me something to cry about. It don't make no sense. That's what I'm telling you. Stop telling me to keep crying and you're going to give me something to cry about when you ain't even addressed what I'm crying in the first place. That's all I'm saying. That's it. I don't know. But that's how we grew up. Some of us, that's how we literally grew up. And yes, far as communication, that can be very, very confusing. But his line of questioning, the way that he just said that to her, and of course, me personally, I'm not gonna lie to you, I was waiting on her response. And after she gave him this look of, I'm not buying it, she hit him with a smooth, okay. I was like, interesting. Then she proceeded to ask where mommy's at. He said, mommy was carrying their luggage, their carry-on, and it wasn't the regular carry-on. It was like this big, I don't know. It was something. It was different. It was like, I don't know if they were bohemian type of people, but she had they probably make all of their products and clothes and stuff themselves. I don't know what you call them, but neither here nor there. They seem like very nice people, right? The wife the mother got up and she went somewhere, or I think she went to go talk to the stewardess. We're still, I ain't gonna say stewardess because it's the person at the front that scans the tickets or whatever the case. So I don't know if they flip flop, whatever the case may be. But it was the person who got the tickets. That's not an important detail, but I just don't want to call a person a stewardess when they're not a stewardess. But that's what it was. So I got that out. That's what it was. So the daughter, Clarissa, asked, where's mommy going? Mommy's going to talk to X, Y, and Z. He goes, why? He goes, because mommy is a strong, independent woman, and she can do anything that she sets her mind to. And if she wants us to win, mommy's going to do that. And just as that is mommy's choice, that is your choice too. So if you ever want the family to win, it is up to you. It is your choice, and we support you. And as your father, I'm always going to support what it is that you do because I love you. Clarissa looked at him and said, okay. Now that was a little bit overboard. Some are thinking that may be a little bit overboard. I was digging it. I don't know why, but I was digging it. That line of communication with a child, because I think the overall deal is we want to put out good people into the world. Think about it. As a parent, I think that's the biggest, at least for me, that is like the biggest fear. I want to make sure that I put out a human being that is productive in this world, and they contribute and they do their part in some form of fashion without murdering, killing, robbing, stealing, or anything like that. And I want them to be able to have conversations if they're not happy. If I want them to be able to express their feelings, I want them to be able to say, hey, cooler heads prevailed in a situation. I don't want my child to be taken away from this world because they didn't know how to communicate effectively, or because they were a hothead, or because I didn't give them the tools to equip, or I didn't equip them with the tools. As long as I equipped you with the tools and I see you using those tools at some point, I'm going to stand back and I'm going to be a proud father. I tell my children all the time, I'm not here to live your life for you, but I am here to guide you through certain situations. But the reality is, whatever I guide you through, in the end, you make the final decision. It's no different. There's multiple ways to effectively communicate with your children. The way that this man communicated with his children and his wife within his family, I've never seen that before. I've never heard that before. And I was taken aback, but I can also appreciate the way that he did that, because now I feel as if they were white, by the way. I'm pretty sure you guys probably gathered that, one, because they're from Cataract, and two, probably the language and the verbiage that was used. Um, we're black, as you clearly can see, beard, locks, all of that. Um, and that didn't play a part in it at all. That did not play a part in it at all. This is a person. This is Jay Sean. I think that's how we all should look at each other. Whatever your given name is, that's who you are. What you become is up to you and up to that child. How we as parents help our children to navigate them finding themselves through effective communication, that's pretty much truly the key. Now, that means you're giving 18, 20, you're giving your life to this child to help this child to understand. Just like we're still children to our parents, our children will forever be children to us. We'll forever be their parents. And as long as we're here, we're going to continue to guide them in certain situations, because what we guided them through at 18 is different from what we're going to guide them through when they're 35 or 36. So we're going to continue to be that parent for them. We're going to continue to be there. But the best way for us to do that is to have open and effective communication, to understand one another. And when they tell us to lead by example, this is that example that we're leading by having the effective communication, by making sure that our children understand, by making sure that they have an ideal that as long as they can communicate effectively, they can grasp some understanding, they can look to the other person and know that they don't have to fear for their lives, then as a parent, I believe that that's one form of success. That's one form of success. This generation is different that is coming up. This generation has things that we've never seen before and things that we're still being amazed about in life. And it's wonderful. It is wonderful. It is beautiful. I am excited for it. And I would love the fact that everybody pushes this change and we want one world. We are the world. I mean, that was back in whenever they did that. I'm not that old. I just wanted you to know. I am aware of my history, but I'm not that old. But at the same time, I hear all of that. And I understand that people want this change and they're kind of scared for whatever reason, whatever society is put on us, where society does actually push us to be a selfish society. But that's not at our root. That's not at our core. We want to be on the next trendy wave. And if the next trendy wave is us, is some selfish type of deal, we embody that. We embody that. It's about, what have you done for me lately? What can you do for me? What am I getting out of this situation? Why would I share my platform with you? Why would I? If we're a team, if we're a society, if we're on the same page, think about this. The Olympics, right now, the Olympics are going on, and pretty much when you get over there and you're fighting for the same country, or not so much as fighting, but competing for the same country, all of that, what's going on here is put to the side. We're here to compete and to show why we are considered to be the world's greatest nation, regardless of all of our tackiness, the political, how that they make us look foolish from time to time, and how that the racism is still real and alive here in America, and just how things truly be, that they can put that to the side, go over there, compete for a land that is somewhat free, and be okay. If they can do that for 2 weeks, why can't we all here who are at home cheering them on, excited about that? Because, we bragging. We got the goals. We know how many of those conversations are going on right now. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? We dropped the 8-piece on y'all. You know what I'm saying? The gymnastics, who can mess with us? You know what I'm saying? The gymnastic team, who got us? You know what I'm saying? The men got up there. They did their thing all around. Women got up there, smashed it. Come on now. Our swimmers, boss, what are we talking about? So why can't we do that together? Why can't we come and find some common ground? But if the effective communication as parents start just as Clarissa's father is teaching her and her sibling, and even though it's maybe different from the way that I'm teaching my boys, as long as it's coming off in a positive way, I truly believe that we can make we can we can see the change that we all long for, and we can change the course of what society is. That's just my thoughts. Of course, I'm not going to keep you longer than what I have to. I'm not going to beat a dead horse. Listen, this is the part of the show where I play a little music because, hey, we all have different tastes. My musical taste is all over the place, and hopefully I'm introducing you to something that you may or may not never heard, but in some kind of form or fashion, it always wraps into the topic that is at hand. So YouTube, you're not going to get this, but thank y'all for tuning in. And then of course I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna wrap this up and we'll get up out of here. So here we go, and I shall return right after these. DSP, let's do it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we back. Go get it. Listen, if you never heard that, that's Comedian Era Won't Let You Down from Ultimate Victory, his second album that he put out, and it was phenomenal. Very positive album. If you had never heard it, no cursing on it. So there's no explicit version of it. It's just straight no cursing. Shout out to him. The reason why I played that, Won't Let You Down. Listen, we owe it to ourselves and we owe it to our children not to let them down. So the best way for us not to let them down is to make sure that they do, one, know how to effectively communicate, two, know how to deal with their emotions. Three, make sure that we show compassion to our fellow man, fellow woman, whatever the case may be, and not be so petty all the time. Show them that there is a better way. Show them that we can learn from our errors of the past. I know I used to get upset and people wouldn't allow me to make mistakes. My friends, my circle would tell me, Nerdy, you are better than that. That's not you, Nerdy. You can't do that, Nerdy, this, Nerdy, that. And it pissed me off and it made me very upset. But I understand today that they saw something in me and they understood that, hey, you got a job. Let's execute it. Let's do what you do best and let's make it happen. So I appreciate that. And listen, once again, don't let let your children down. Effectively communicate as a parent. Keep it pushing. Keep putting out wonderful human beings into this world, and so that we can see one day, if we don't get a chance to see it, that this world one day will see that positive change and things to be better, not only for our grandchildren, great grandchildren, and so forth in the generations to come. Once again, this has been Oh That's Random Podcast. I have been your host, your guide, that guy, Nerdy G. And until next time, y'all know what it is. This is the show where we explore the extraordinary and ordinary. And listen, you want to help us out over there, links in the description, Nerdy G shop. Get some of this merchandise. It's wonderful. 3 the hard way. 3 the hard way. I have 3 children. Understand that, right? And because of their ages, it is 3 the hard way. 20, 14, 6, 3 different mindsets. Have to balance that out. So it is 3 the hard way. I did it, but it's cool. I'm guiding them, leading them. I'm not going to let them down, and I hope you don't let yours down. Till next time, I'm out.